If you made it this far, congratulations. We're on to final assembly. It's the last assembly we need to do before we end up wiring up the robot and getting into programming. We're going to attach our control hub, also get our 12-volt slim robot battery in, our power switch with power switch bracket, as well as our touch sensor. So to start, we're going to take our control hub, and we're going to be placing it up just underneath these two nylock nuts here. But the first step I'm actually going to do is take my 5.5 millimeter nut driver. I'm going to loosen these two, and I'm just going to bring this plate as high up as I can. I don't want it to get into this gear at all. So you need to make sure that the plate's not getting into the gear. But I'm just going to bring it up, and that way our control hub is a little bit higher on the robot, which means there's a little bit more room for wires underneath. We're going to take two M3 by 16 millimeter long hex cap screws, and we're going to be utilizing the outside holes, the third hole down. So the third hole down, and I'm just going to go ahead and basically create little studs here and push them through. And then the control hub has two holes in the top, and we're just going to line those up. So I'm going to hold the one screw from the back and just push it through. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to hold it in place and get a nylock nut, and I'm just going to start it on this side. And I'm going to take my nut driver and just get it started a little bit more. And we're going to get the other nut started. Take my nut driver, and then I'll take I'm going to use the box end, but you can use the open end as well. And I'm just going to snug this up a little bit. I'm actually going to use the opened end side. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing with the skid on this side. I'm going to bring the open end on this side and hold it, and then just snug this nut up. And now the control hub's mounted, and we still have room to adjust it. We can adjust it up a little higher if we need to, position it in different ways. But for now, it's a good starting spot. We're now going to rotate the robot around, and we're going to get our 12-volt slim robot battery, and we're going to go ahead and get that into this hook and loop fastener. So we had already placed this. We're going to place the battery centered, put one strap over, hold it down, grab the other strap, and just tightly place it. So now that battery's in there, and we have our side, and you can be rotated either way, because now we're going to move on to the power switch assembly. So we have the switch bracket, as well as our toggle switch. Basically what this is doing is you're putting your battery in, and it will switch the robot on and off for you, giving power to the control hub. This makes it really easy to turn it on and off without having to unplug or plug the battery in, and it's a little safer as well. You do want to make sure that these are pushed on, as well as the overcoating, the plastic coating is pushed down too, just to make sure that there's no chance of contact. What I'm going to do is I'm going to preload this bracket first. So I'm going to use two 8mm M3 screws as well as the matching nylock nuts, and I'm going to preload two of them. So I'm just going to push a screw through, start a nut, and do the same. There's no ridges on this one, so it can be really either side. And our switch is roughly going to go here. So we want our switch to go through this way on the same side as the hex cap of the screw. If you have a particular position you want this to be on and off, you can rotate it 180 if you'd like to. And all you have to do is line it up, and then you will just push this in. And the little sides will snap very positively when it is in place, and the switch won't come out of that switch plate, and you can flick that switch on and off. We're now going to take this, and using this back side of this channel, we're going to line up these hex cap screws and bring this down to a good position for us. We can still hit that pretty well, and we're not in the way of anything. And we can now take our nut driver from the other side and go ahead and tighten, snug this up really, but we're going to tighten it down. So I'm going to put it about there. And now our switch is mounted in place, and we're able to turn it on and off at will. Okay, so we're on to one of the last little pieces we need to assemble, which is our touch sensor. So our end limit foot here will basically end up touching this touch sensor when the arm comes down, letting the control hub know, hey, the arm is in its completely down position and stop moving. So what we need to do is take a note of which side the cable's coming off of, and we're going to face it out so we can have a little bit easier time wiring it and not go through the arm side. And to get it on here, you can preload this and take a wheel off and slide it on. However, I'm actually going to take my M3 by 8mm long screws and load them into the extrusion. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place the sensor on top of those screws. I'm going to do the one first. And then once that one is on, I can slide it around and get to the other one. So it lines up. And now I've grabbed both of those. I'm going to start 2 nylock nuts. And I'm going to use my tool just to help me a little bit here. Okay, and start the other side. Can be a little tricky to get these started. And I'm going to use my tool to help. And then I'm going to slide it into position. And I want it so that this foot contacts the switch. So you can see here the foot comes down and presses against the switch. Now we can move this foot by loosening these and sliding it up and down, and which we will do, but I have about where I want it position-wise. So I can now come in and snug these 2 nylock nuts. Very carefully going to move the arm up a little bit, get my nut driver into the second one, and I'm going to go ahead and snug this touch sensor up. So the touch sensor can't move. I'm going to bring down this arm again. I'm going to look at the alignment here, and it looks okay straight on, but on the side it's just a little off. So I'm going to slide this back just a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and loosen these 2 nylock nuts, which are already pretty loose. And I'm going to slide it up and bring the arm down until it's making a good contact spot. And then I'm going to snug these back up. So now we know that when the arm comes down, it is making really good contact with that push button. All right. And that completes assembly of the robot, and we can move on to wiring. Now that our class bot is fully assembled, it's time to go on to the next step and tackle some wiring. But if you have any questions about how to assemble this or any problems you might encounter, feel free to check out our documentation at docs.revrobotics.com, or feel free to email us at support@revrobotics.com.